The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below. For only the second time in this many games, and for the second time in 5 series played, including this one, we have ourselves a winner take all game 5. This series is tied at 2 apiece. The winner of this game will win the series against the 1927 Yankees and the 2018 New York Mets. Your pitching matchup for this game is Noah Syndergaard going for the 2018 Mets, and going for the 1927 Yankees is Urban Shocker. Lineups have been exchanged at home plate. Everyone knows what the deal is. The winner of this game will win the series. It's that simple. With the series tied at 2, this is a winner-take-all for all the marbles. Either the Gauntlet Challenge will still be favoring the Yankees, either by 4-1 or 3-2, still in favor of the 1927 Yankees, leading this Gauntlet Challenge. With that being said, let's play ball from Citi Field here in Queens. 1-3-6 to Earl Combs, and it will be... Is Syndergaard an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Earl Combs a hero batter? No, he is a hero batter, so that's going to end up being a men on base result with a base running adjustment symbol. And it looks like Earl Combs is a neutral runner, so that is going to be putting him on first with a 1-3 of an official scorer's decision. The decider die was not used, so that is going to end up being a single for Earl Combs. We go to the men on base chart for Mark Koenig. 3-4. Is 34. I read the black die and blue die as such whenever I'm on the men on base chart. I forgot. Slugger hits a double, and it looks like Mark Koenig is not a slugger, so that's going to end up being a single, and no runs are going to come across here as the 1927 Yankees will lead 2 runners on base, and they will be held scoreless in their half of the first as we head to the bottom half of the first, and the 2018 New York Mets are ready to take their first cracks here in Game 5 against Urban Shocker. 1-2-4. Is Shocker an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Nimmo a champion batter? He is not. That's going to end up being a 4 blank, no runs result. And that's going to end the bottom half of the first inning, or in general, the first inning in total, as we are having a score of 0-0 at the end of 1 And we head to the top half of the second by that score. Here's Babe Ruth. 3-4. Is pitcher not fresh? He is still fresh. And again, for the freshness, I play 3 full fresh, 3 semi fresh for those of you that are just joining us for the first time. So in this case, Noah Syndergaard is still fresh. Is Babe Ruth a sad sack batter? He is not. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of control. Noah Syndergaard has control, so that 2 will be reduced to a 1. And Babe Ruth will get on base again. Another official scorer's decision pending, and the decider die was not used, so that is going to be a base hit, a single for Babe Ruth. So far, all singles, and the official scorer is really active here at Citi Field. And we go now to Lou Gehrig for his turn up at the plate on the men on base chart. 35, reading the black and blue dice as such. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Noah Syndergaard has control, so that will be a ground out to end the second inning, the top half of the second for the 1927 Yankees. As we head to the bottom half of the first, we have a big fat goose egg on both ends of the scoreboard in the run column. Here is Jeff McNeil. 146. Is Docker an ace or dynamic pitcher? He is not. That is McNeil going to be, is McNeil a sad sack batter? No, he is not. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of control. Urban Shocker has double control, so with that we are going to be taking away 2 from the black die, so a 6 goes to a 4 to put the runners on first and third, and a 4 and a 4. It looks like the decider die was not used. 146. No. Yes, the decider die was not used, so it will be a multiple runners on base chart, and I will be my micro multiple runners on base chart, and I will be using the red die 1 of first and third. So Jeff McNeil walked and stole a base in one appearance and had a base hit, a single, in the second appearance. And right away, the 2018 Mets are making noise as this is winner take all here at Citi Field. We head to the men on base chart, and Wilmer Flores now up at the plate. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 16. Good eye rolls again. Wilmer Flores does not have a good eye, so that is going to be a strikeout for Urban Shocker, and that's going to end the second inning here at Citi Field with the score of 0-0. And we head to the third, and Bob Musial stepped up to the plate against Syndergaard. 144. Is Syndergaard a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Bob Musial a sad sack batter? Nope. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of control. Syndergaard does have control, so that 4 on the black die will be reduced to a 3. And we are going to put the runners on first and second to be safe. And it's going to be a multiple runners on base chart visit again with a back-to-back, dot is either back-to-back hit, back-to-back singles, or blank is back-to-back walks. And in this case, the decider die was not used, so a blank is going to be back-to-back walks for Bob Musel over his first 2 plate appearances. Here's Tony Lazzeri. 25 off of the men on base chart of iron fielder commits the error. Jay Bruce is not an iron fielder, so that is going to be a ground out, and we remain scoreless heading to the bottom half of the 3rd. And Jay Bruce will not be the guy to face Urban Shocker as he was used earlier. And Yoenis Cespedes will be the new batter here. And I believe, if I'm playing that right, please let me know in the comments down below if you own a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, because it says on dice rolls of 24 and 25, use the fielding rating of the top player on the pitching team's batter stack, then rotate that player to the bottom of the stack. I'm assuming that's what it means. If he has it, he has it. He doesn't, then he moves to the bottom of the stack. So I'm hoping that I'm playing that right, but please let me know if you have a copy of this game. Please let me know if I'm playing that correctly down below in the comments section below. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd, and Yoenis Cespedes to lead things off. 4-4-5. Is Shocker a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Cespedes a hero batter? No, he is not. And that's going to be a no runs result of 4 to end the 3rd inning. And we remain scoreless going into the 4th inning here at Citi Field in this winner-take-all Game 5. Here is Joe Duggan. 4-6-6. Is Syndergaard a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Joe Duggan a hero batter? He is not. That's going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. However, Joe Duggan does not have either home run king or slugger qualities, so that's going to be a no runs result of 6 blank to end the top half of the 4th. To end the top half of the 4th, as we now head to the bottom half of the 4th and a chance to get on the board here for the Mets with Todd Frazier stepping up to the plate. 1-4-4. Is Shocker a struggler pitcher? No, he is not, as I forgot to switch the progress bar on the innings. As you can see, it's now the bottom half of the 4th. And again, is Shocker a struggler pitcher? No, he's not. Sad sack batter for Todd Frazier. He is a semi-sad sack, but the decider die says he's not. So that is going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die if control. And Urban Shocker has double control. So that 4 will be reduced to a 2, and we will put him on second base with a 2 and a 1. That is going to be a ground rule double. The ball just landed on the warning track and popped over the wall for a ground rule double for Todd Frazier off of my optional men on base narrative chart. Here's Kevin Plawecki on the men on base chart. 24. Gold fielder makes the out. Pat Collins is not a gold fielder, so that will be an error and a runner advance 1 base. And both Collins and Plawecki will be rotating as we now head to Ahmed Rosario as the Mets are starting to make some noise here in the bottom half of the 4th in a scoreless tie off of the men on base chart. Ahmed Rosario. 14. Scrapper hits a single Ahmed Rosario is not a scrapper. That is going to be a double, and the first runs of the game are going to cross the home plate, and the score is now 2-0 off of a bases clearing double for Ahmed Rosario. And the 2018 Mets lead the 1927 Yankees by a score of 2-0. And ever since the 19-5 win, the Yankees may have scored all of their runs, all of their run value back in Game 3, back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. That was a tough game, as the Mets are pounding right now here. Again, off of the men on base chart for Brandon Nimmo. 56, patient draws the walk. Brandon Nimmo is a semi-patient batter. The decider die says he is patient. That is going to be a walk to put the runners on first and second. As Rosario stays at second, Nimmo heads to first for Jeff McNeil. Here we go. Let's see what he can do for his turn. At 45, fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, I play it as 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. Urban Shocker is still fresh, Urban Shocker is semi-fresh. The decider die says he is still fresh, and it's going to end up being a ground out to end the 4th inning. And with that, the 2018 Yankees, 2018 Mets, I should say, take a 2-0 lead going into the top half of the 5th, with Earl Combs coming up and stepping into the batter's box against Noah Syndergaard here at Citi Field off of the main chart. 455 is going to be, is Syndergaard a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Earl Combs a utility batter? No, he is not. That is going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of flash or control. Noah Syndergaard has both flash and control, so that 4 on the black die will be reduced to a 2, as we will put Earl Combs on second base with a single and a stolen base off of my optional men on base narrative chart. Here is Mark Koenig off of the men on base chart. 16, good eye rolls again. Mark Koenig has good eye. By that, we get to roll again off the men on base chart. 13, fresh or relief pitcher gets the pop out. Noah Syndergaard is semi-fresh. The decider die says he's not, and that's going to end up being a double, and a run will score to break the shutout for Noah Syndergaard. The score is now 2-1 in favor of the 2018 Mets. And we now head to Babe the Bambino, Babe Ruth, off of the men on base chart. 14, scrapper hits a single. Unfortunately for Babe Ruth, he is not a scrapper, but he's going to hit another double, and that's going to tie the game up at 2. And somehow Noah Syndergaard has, I don't know if he has lost it, but I don't know. He's going like, where is this offense coming from for the 1927 Yankees after they scored 19 runs in Game 3 and 1 run in last game? They have scored 2 here in this top half of the 5th alone. Oh my goodness. We go to the men on base chart again for Lou Gehrig. 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Noah Syndergaard is a control pitcher, and he will do such to get the ground out and end the top half of the fifth. However, the damage was done to tie the game up at 2 apiece, heading into the bottom half of the fifth inning for Wilmer Flores to get it all started. One four six is Urban Shocker, an ace or dynamic pitcher? No, he is not. Is Wilmer Flores a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for Black Die of Control. No, excuse me, not Noah Syndergaard. Urban Shocker has double control, so that black 6 will be reduced to a 4, and that is going to be runners at the corners of a 4 and a 4. So either way, first and third is going to be 2 hits, or seeing the multiple runners on base chart. The decider die was not used. It was not used, so it's going to be 2 hits for Wilmer Flores. And I will roll the red die with 1 or a 6 is a home run. 2 or a 5 is a single. A 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double. And he gets to collect 2 hits. Wilmer Flores in his first hit will collect a double via a 4 and a single courtesy of a 2. So we have runners at the corners for Jay Bruce to lead it off on the bottom half of, to lead off on the men on base chart of a 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Bob Musial is not gold, so that is going to be an error and an RBI, and the Mets take a 3-2 lead as they will now runners advance 2 bases. Oh, yes, 2 bases. Sorry. So it will remain a first and third situation as Bob Musial's card will be swapped for Tony Lazzeri's, and Yoenis Cespedes will be the next batter up for the 2018 New York Mets. Off of the men on base chart. 226, excuse me. Home run king, it's home run. Yoenis Cespedes will crank one high, far, and out of Citi Field, out to left field. And the Mets take a 5-2 lead, courtesy of Yoenis Cespedes' 3-run home run. And, oh man, we could be seeing our second team to beat the 1927 Yankees if the score holds. But first, let's check if the bullpen is active for the 1927 Yankees. They are. Is Shocker going to be out of this game? He is. And he will. So we are going to go dipping into the pen as the manager of the 1927 Yanks will head to the mound to make a pitching change, and we will take a timeout. Miles Thomas will be the new pitcher for the Yankees coming out of the pen, and Todd Frazier will be the first guy to greet him here in the bottom half, here in his turn in the bottom half of the fifth, and Miles Thomas will become since he has full workman, we'll reduce him to a semi-workman for this at-bat against Todd Frazier. 3-4-6 His pitcher not fresh. So again, Miles Thomas is the bullpen hero, so he is fresh for the remainder of the game. So we are going to skip that question anytime the bullpen hero is pitching. So Todd Frazier, is he a hero batter? No, he's not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result. However, the decider die, with a possible solo home run, and it looks like, yes, I'm playing that right. Yeah, because it goes back to the main chart. If it was in the middle of the inning, yep, I'm playing that right. So it becomes a no-run situation. However, that is going to be, the way that I play it, is going to be an out recorded, and that's going to end the fifth inning altogether for the game here. So after 5 innings complete, the score, the 2018 Mets 5 and the 1927 Yankees 2. We head to the top half of the 6th, and Tony Lazzeri to lead things off for the 1927 Yankees. And it looks like we have triple fives. So it's going to be an experience check of a 1. It reads, do we have an icon pitcher? No, we do not. So that will be a men on base result. And it looks like I don't get to re-roll the decider die. It doesn't say to re-roll the decider die. So we're going to keep it as a 5 for the men on base. And Tony Lazzeri is semi-active. The decider die says, he is not active. So that is going to be remaining. Sorry, not. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm playing it right. Yeah. So it'll be a second and third situation with a 5 of the original roll and a 5, and it's going to be, we're going to re-roll the decider die to either see if we got 2 hits or seeing the multiple runners on base mini chart. So we're going to go to that mini chart again for the multiple runners on base. And we'll be reading a 5, and it will be back-to-back singles in 2 plate appearances for Tony Lazzeri, and he will hit a double and bringing home a run, and that will put the 1927 Yankees even closer now. It is 5-3 and still in favor of the 2018 Mets. Here is Joe Duggan to lead things off on the mob chart for the 1927 Yankees. 35, control pitcher gets the ground out. Noah Syndergaard has control, so that's going to do it for the 6th inning here at Citi Field for the 1927 Yanks. The score is now heading to the bottom half of the 6th, 5-3. And Miles Thomas is the bullpen hero, as he will be for the remainder of the game, still remaining on the freshness quality for Kevin Plawecki to face him here in the bottom half of the 6th. 115, is Thomas a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Plawecki a utility batter? He is a utility batter. So that's going to be a no runs result of 1 blank to end the 6th inning with the score 2018 Mets 5 and the 1927 Yankees 3. We head to the 7th inning here at Citi Field, and Pat Collins will lead things off here in the top half of the inning. 455 is Noah Syndergaard a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Pat Collins a utility batter? No, he is not. That's going to be a men on base result. -1 for Black Die of flash or control. Noah Syndergaard has both flash and control. So that is going to be a Black Die result from a 5 to a 3. And we are going to put the runners on first and second just to play it safe, even though there's a little bit of game left to be played. With a 3 and a 5 on the first and second row on my optional men on base narrative chart, and the decider die was not used. 455. Let me double check. Workman, no. Utility, no. So no, it'll be back-to-back walks for Pat Collins. Stepping up now to the plate, here is Earl Combs. Reading the black and blue dice as such, of a good eye rolls again. Earl Combs has good eye, and that is going to force us to roll the dice again. 23 is going to be eager grounds out. Earl Combs is not an eager batter. And Noah Syndergaard has walked the bases loaded, and that is really dangerous here in Game 5. You're up by 2, and you are going to be pitching to Mark Koenig with a possibility of you either maintaining the lead heading into the stretch or giving up the lead going into the stretch. Here is Mark Koenig off of the men on base. 23, eager grounds out. Mark Koenig is an eager batter. He will ground out, and Noah Syndergaard is through 7 innings complete. And as he heads off towards the first base dugout here at Citi Field, these Mets fans showing him their appreciation as they can tell this will be his final inning as we head into the stretch here at Citi Field with your score 2018 Mets 5 and the 1927 Yankees 3. The Yankees made noise, but unfortunately they did not score. So we head to the bottom half of the 7th here at Citi Field. And Ahmed Rosario will lead off the bottom half of the 7th against Miles Thomas off of the main chart. 113. Is Thomas a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Rosario a utility batter? No, he is not. That's going to be an RBI question mark result. The decider die says, Ahmed Rosario, you have the RBI, mister. And that is going to extend the lead even further. The score is now 6-3 in favor of the 2018 Mets. And we are going to determine now what the outcome of the RBI was for Ahmed Rosario, according to my homebrew RBI question mark and micro RBI narrative chart. It will be an error, and it occurred in the outfield by the left fielder, Bob Musial. So E7 and an RBI to extend to extend the Mets lead to 6-3, and the Mets are going to bring in a new pitcher, and we will take a timeout. The score is 6-3 as we head to the top half of the eighth, and Jerry's Familia will be the new pitcher for the 2018 Mets as they bring on the closer for a 6-out save here in this ball game. And standing in the way of doing so is Babe Ruth. And for next inning, hopefully, Lou Gehrig. 3-3-6. Is Familia a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Babe Ruth a sad sack batter? No, he is not. And unfortunately for it's going to be the end of the inning. The Yankees are going to post 2 RBIs here in the top half of the eighth to put the score at 6-5. And let's determine, first off, are the RBIs going to be the same on Babe Ruth, or is it going to be spread out for multiple appearances? It'll be spread out for multiple appearances. As let's determine now what those results are. An error, so it'll be committed by the first baseman. And a hit will be a double for Babe Ruth. So E7 on one RBI and a double on the other. And that will end the top half of the eighth with the score 2018 Mets 6 and the 1927 Yankees 5. We head to the bottom of the eighth, and Brandon Nimmo to hopefully extend this lead, keep it within a save situation for Jerry's in the top half of the ninth. 2-3-5. Is Thomas a star pitcher? No. Is Brandon Nimmo a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die if flash. Miles Thomas does not have flash, so that is going to be a runners on second and third result. And it will be a 2 and a 5. The decider die was not used, so we're going to read off of the multiple runners on base chart using the red die. And again, if you're using my charts, you had to own a copy of History Maker Baseball Express if you would like to use my charts. My homebrew optional men on base and homebrew RBI question mark or RBI micro RBI results narrative charts. So in this case here for Brandon Nimmo, the decider die was not used. I'll be reading off the red die of 3 for second and third. It'll be a hit by pitch in one appearance, a single in the other, and a runner's advance 2 bases single in the third plate appearances, and Brandon Nimmo will steal a bag. Here's Jeff McNeil to roll off of the men on base chart. 2-4-6. I'm sorry, 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Lou Gehrig is gold, so he is going to be making the ground out, and that will keep the score right where it's at, heading into the bottom half of the ninth in this winner-take-all Game 5. The winner of this game will win the series, will win Series 5 of this 1927 Yankees Gauntlet Challenge. And Bob Musial will be standing in the way of Jerry's Familia to get the save opportunity here in the top half of the ninth. As the collective fans here at Citi Field hold their breath 235. Is Familia a star pitcher? He is, and that is going to be a no runs result of 2 dot. And folks, we have our second team to beat the 1927 Yankees in the 2018 New York Mets. They took a 1-0 series lead after game 1, lost the last 2, and a huge mistake by the 1927 Yankees when they scored 19 runs in game 3. Since then, over the last 2 games, have scored 6 runs to end the series with a 6-5 loss here in Game 5. Once again, your final score here in Game 5 of this winner-take-all matchup. The 2018 Mets will etch their name in history as the team as to say they have beaten the 1927 Yankees by a score of 6-5.